Alright, so this is day 38. We're going to continue factoring. This is the last type of factoring that you are required to know about for now, okay? It's when we factor sum and difference of cubes. So factoring, again, what does factoring mean, everyone? Like you're breaking up a fight, right? But we're breaking apart polynomials, right? Or numbers, okay? That's what we're doing, is breaking things apart in math, okay? Make sense? Okay, so the thing with today, though, we can't really use factor by grouping, which you're really good at. Today you have to just recognize a pattern and then apply the rule for the pattern. And here are the patterns. If you're on the video, you should pause and see these. But patterns up here on the board or on the video. And basically, if you notice this pattern, then you can break it apart that way. Okay. So this is one thing you need to memorize. Okay. You have to memorize the pattern. Tomorrow you have a quiz. Friday's a test. This is a pattern you should memorize. Okay? Okay. So, pause the video here. Okay, so you'll notice some patterns here. On this first one, let's say you had like x cubed plus y cubed. You'll notice there's a plus sign here. So you just take x plus y, there's a plus sign here, and then you have a subtract here that's opposite. Okay? There's a minus here, you're going to do minus, and then you just do the opposite right here. You see? Y'all see that? And then both of these are always positive y squared, so you always keep that the same, okay? Anyways, those are the rules. Here we go, I'm going to move on. Okay, numbers 1 and 2. Okay, eyes up here, eyes up at the board. You got 8x cubed plus 1. It's the first one, factor completely. So you see it's cubed. It's not factored by grouping, so I can't really group stuff together. But what I can do is I recognize, okay, 8x cubed is a perfect cube, okay? And I know it's a perfect cube because what's the cube root of 8? It's 2. Cube root of x cubed is x. So eyes up here. So 8x cubed could be rewritten as 2x to the power 3. I'm going to bring down my plus sign, and then I know 1 could be written, because a 1 is a perfect cube, 1 could be written as 1 cubed. Okay? You'll see that? So now I see that the pattern exists. We got a first term cubed plus a second term cubed is good. That's just we could break this apart now. So looking at my pattern here, I know this is going to fall under the first one because you have a plus sign here, you see? So I'm going to open parentheses, and then we're going to put x plus y. So we got the first term plus the second term, so it's going to be 2x plus 1. Then we're going to open parentheses again. We got the first term squared, which is going to be 2x squared. So 2 squared is 4. X squared is just x squared. Then I'm going to change this to a minus sign, right? And we got x times y, our first term times the second term, which is going to be 2x times 1, which is just 2x. Then I got a plus sign here. And then I got y squared. Y squared in this case is 1 squared, which is just 1. And then close parentheses. And then I could try to factor this, right? Can I rewrite this and factor it? No, because 4x times 1 is 4x squared. Is there anything that I could add up to that equals to negative 2x but multiplies to be 4x squared? No, I can't do that, so that's it. I can't do any more, so that's my answer to the first one. Okay? So all you have to do is recognize the pattern and apply the pattern today. That's all you could do today. And it's just one of those things you have to memorize in math. There's no real other way around that. Okay? Number 2. Number 2, I notice 3x cubed minus 375. Is this a perfect cube? Is 3 a perfect cube? No, it's not. And neither is 375. So it kind of gets a little harder. So I always want to check for GCFs anytime. Is there a GCF of both 3 and 375? 3. Yeah, 3 is. 3 goes into both of them. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to take out a 3. So we got x cubed minus 375 divided by 3 is 125. Okay. Then I notice that this is a perfect cube and 125 is a perfect cube, right? Because cube root of x cubed is going to be x. So I got x to the power of 3. Bring down my minus sign. 125 is like saying 5 to the power of 3. Okay, and then I'm going to bring the rest of my problem down. I got my 3 and then my parentheses on the outside. Now I could apply the rule. It's the second one. We got something cubed minus something else cubed is going to be this following. So I got We can go a little more quickly. I'm bringing down my 3, of course. Don't want to leave that out. We got x minus 5. Then we got x cubed, or x squared. And then I'm going to put a plus sign here this time. You see there's a plus sign. Then we got x times y, which is 5x, plus y squared, which is 25. Oh, sorry about that. Which is 25. Close parentheses, and that's it. I can't do anything else. Make sense? So it's not really too difficult. It just takes a little time to memorize the pattern, apply the pattern. Yes, sir?
How are you getting the numbers inside the second?
Here?
Yeah, how are you?
Sure, it's like this. Okay? What's x squared? What's the first number squared? What's x squared? X squared, you see? Plus sign, you see? We got first number times the second number. What's x times 5? 5x. You see? And then you got plus sign, and then the second number squared, 5 squared is 25. Okay?
Y is 5.
Yeah, in this case it's 5. Does this make sense? So it's all about getting the pattern and plugging it into the to the formula. So this is a very basic skill. It's an Algebra 2 skill, which is great. So let's talk about it. You know how much I love math chat. So let's have 2s talk about number 1 today first. If there isn't a 2, let's have 4 teach the rest of the group. And then once 2s or 4s are done, we're going to have 1s talk to the rest of the group about number 2. If there isn't a 1, let's have a 3 talk. Ready? Set. Go. Yes. Okay, everyone start. Well, you should know this, okay, but what's 1 cubed? 1. Eyes up at the screen. 2 cubed? 8. 3 cubed? 27. You might want to have your calculators out so you work along with me. 4 cubed? 64. 5 cubed? Good. Wouldn't that have been useful to know for this second problem? You see that? Okay, keep going. 6 cubed?
That's going to be
It's not 224.
1.
216. Good. You might want to use a calculator. Okay? 7 cubed?
343.
Good. Is this making sense? You should probably write these down and study these, or make them familiar to you. Okay. 8 cubed.
512.
9 cubed.
729.
Good. And then 10 cubed.
That's going to be 1,000.
That's right, 1,000. Okay, so I wrote these on the site because this is kind of like your hint. This would be something important for you to practice, right? It's going to get easier. If you see these numbers, these are kind of like magical numbers. You're like, oh, cool, like there's an 8 here. When you see an 8, then you know like 8 has a cube root. You see that? What's the cube root of 8?
2.
Everyone?
2.
2, good. Or you see the 125. What's the cube root of 125? 5, good. Okay. So take a moment, copy that down. Okay? And let me tell you, when you become familiar with the numbers in math, it gets easier. It's kind of like one of those things, it's kind of like knowing the secrets to like a game or something. It's all like, well, the first time you do a game, you kind of you're not very good. Okay? Yeah, or let's say you didn't know how to play poker and you didn't know all the cards in poker. You didn't know there were 52 cards in a deck. You're going to kind of suck at poker, right? So, but when you get to know all the cards and know how many cards are out, then it gets better. Okay, that's a great example. Thank you. Okay, so let's do the next one, number 3, okay? Okay, so I'll just put these numbers on the side here. Looking at your notes too, I'll just put these here so you could see them. They're on the top right, okay? Talk to your neighbors, identify any perfect cubes, and how would you write this? Okay, cool. So what should I rewrite this problem as, everyone? Good, so we're going to write 4x, right? Cube root of 64 is 4. And then we're going to put a cube, right? Because the cube root of 4x cubed is 4x to the power of 3. And then what's the cube root of 125, everyone? 5. So we're going to rewrite this as 5 cubed, okay? Y'all see that? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So hopefully you're writing this down with me. You're writing this down with me because we're doing this first part together and then I'm going to release you, okay? So which pattern would you use, the first or second pattern? Good, okay, so we should write open parentheses. We're just going to take the first term, and since there's a plus sign there, we're going to do 4x plus 5, okay? Okay, and then we're going to do open parentheses. We need to continue the pattern. What am I supposed to do next?
4 squared minus.
What do we do with the first term, everyone? We square it, right? So what's 4x squared?
16x squared.
Good, 16x squared. Then what should I put next? Plus or minus sign? Wrong. Minus. You see that? We're doing this all the way through together because I know we're going to go very slow. Okay, the next term. What do I do with both terms on this next one? Multiply. So what's 4x times 5?
Negative 20.
Good, you just put 20x. Don't think about negatives, just put on this one. 20x, okay? You always need to know that that first pattern will have a minus, okay? Okay, then we're going to put a plus sign, right? And then what do I do with the last term?
You just split
Square, right? So 5 squared is 25. That's it. You just did it. Now, you could try to factor this, but I will be honest with you, there are no factors for this second. So we're just going to leave it alone. If there were, you would do it, but with this sum and difference of cubes, we are going to just not factor it anymore because there really isn't anything we could do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, let's do the next one. I'll start us off and then you'll finish it. Okay, 1 minus 8x cubed. Okay, turn to your neighbors, your group members, tell them or identify what are the perfect cubes in this number. Okay, what are my perfect cubes, everyone?
2x.
Good, so we're going to, let's just focus one at a time. What's the cube root of 1? Good, so we're going to do 1 cubed, right? Put a minus sign. What's the cube root of 8x cubed? Good, 2x. So we're going to put 2x in parentheses and cube it. Okay, turn to your neighbors, tell them which pattern you use, the first or second pattern. Okay, good. So you should have, I'll just start you off, you should have 1 minus 2x here, and then I want you to finish up my prompt for me, okay? I'll leave that like that. I'm going to pause it here. You should have done the following, okay, ready? You should have taken the first term, squared it, which is 1 squared, right, which is just 1, right? Put a plus sign, because we had a minus sign here. We started with a minus, so we want this to be plus. Okay, and then we have the first times the second term, 2x times, or 1 times 2x is just 2x. Put a plus sign again. We take the second term, 2x, and we're going to square it. 2x squared is 4x squared. This is the correct answer right here. Okay?
It's alright if it's put into that order where it's x squared, x, and then the...
Okay? These are some variations that are acceptable. You can use the commutative property inside of each parenthesis. So some people might have put it like negative 2x plus 1. And then they may have put this other one as 4x squared plus 2x plus 1. That's okay too, but I want you to know that this is really what I want you to do is what the boxed answer is the best answer. Okay? Yes? I'm sorry, what's that? Can't you what?
Like, you know how you said before, you can like fix the
Yes.
I just put it in descending order.
It's like sour, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all I did. I didn't like change it.
Yeah, he said it was
Sharp is so good.
He just put it in a different order.
Yeah.
Isn't it 31?
Number 5. No, you're going to stay there for the rest of the period or until... Here we go. Here we go. Number 5. You're doing number 5 right now in your seat, current seat. You're not moving back. Okay, go. Before we start, What is something you recognize here? What can you do? There's a what? There's cubes, but what else? Are there any perfect cubes up here? No. So can we factor it? Ah, I heard someone say GCF. Is there a GCF? Okay, what? Now, if there wasn't a GCF, you couldn't do anything. It'd be done. But there is a GCF, so we could take out a 2 here. Okay? So we got 8a cubed minus 1. Okay? Right? This one is going to be like number 2 in your... This could be like number 2 in your notes. Okay? So work together as a group, or with your partners, or on your notes, and finish up the problem. Go. This is what you should have done. You should always bring the 2 down. I know that this is like saying 2a raised to the third power minus 1 raised to the third power. Okay, and then we're gonna. I recognize that this is the second pattern, so I'm gonna have 2a minus 1 times first term squared is gonna be 4a squared. And then we have a minus sign. Is going to be, we want to make sure there's a plus here because we started with a minus here. You see that? And then we got first term times the second is just 2a's, and last term squared is positive 1. And then that's it. We can't do anything else. You have to include all of that. So some of you got it right all the way. If you got it right, dab, please. All right. All right. If you made a mistake, please... It is a good way. If you got it wrong, please turn to your neighbor, explain where you may have made a mistake, or you made it like a silly mistake. Go. Last one. Shh. Number 6. One more time. Number 6. Go. This one's like number 5 and number 2. So, okay, last one. Here we go. I'm going to show you how to do it. Do not erase your boards. Eyes up here. Okay, so you should have factored out a 3. You should have factored out a 3. And you got x cubed plus what? 64. And then you should have realized that these are both perfect squares. We got x cubed, right? Plus 4 cubed, right? It's fitting our first model, so we got x plus 4, close parentheses, open parentheses, x squared, minus, first term times the second term is 4x, plus, the last term is going to be squared, is going to be 16. Can't do anything else, that's your answer. If you did it correctly, yeah, let's have you talk about it, okay? Ready, set, go. Quickly, because we're almost done here. Okay, so that concludes the lesson.